I was inspired to create this content because from my personal experience or from my personal battle against anxiety. I was inspired because I know I am not alone in this battle. And probably the reason why you are watching this video right now is you're going through the same thing as well. But the good news is something can be done. We can win this battle because we can get help. This is Fernandez-Fabian, and welcome to another Conversations with Christine. And my guest for today is a wife, a mom of two, a licensed teacher, and a certified life coach at Transcend Training and Development, Coach Charly Panoncillo. And this is our conversation. Hi, Coach Kai. Actually, Coach Kai is Bisaya. Bisaya, pareho natong tanan.
Yes.
But she's now residing in Manila. So, personally, I've been battling with episodes of anxieties since this quarantine started. It was something I did not see coming. We went through some tears and worries and fears. And I knew I needed help. I knew I needed help. It wasn't something I could just say, I'll just stay positive and in just one snap, just one switch, I'm good. No, I needed help. And that was something that it was not hard for me to accept as well. And good thing, and it's just really a blessing that my older sister, Charly, super friends, actually classmates sila ni Coach Kai back in Butuan City. But we are here. We are here because Coach Kai, I also wanted to extend this kind of help to those viewers who are watching right now, the kind of help I got from you. First question. We've been in this quarantine for almost 4 months already as we speak. Now, every day it's been a battle of fears and worries, for others disappointments, frustrations, like every day ganun ang tama sa kanila. Now, the question is, to all that fear and that worry, it led to, like me, anxiety. Or are there tools or steps that we can do to overcome if we are in that state already? And is there a way we can bounce back?
Yes, definitely. Well, first and foremost, I just want to congratulate you and thank you for giving your audience diverse perspective about this pandemic. So I've been following your posts and it has been very helpful, and not just me, obviously. So this is very timely, and I'm really grateful that you're doing this. So like what you said, yes, I think everybody right now, it's fair to acknowledge what we are feeling. That's the first thing. Acknowledge what you're feeling right now. Be it fear, anxiety, or even panic, or even depression, Because our feelings are neither right nor wrong. They're true. Our feelings are simply true. It's not right or wrong. So we should stop shaming or feeling guilty na, why am I anxious? Diba? Bakit ako fearful? I should be okay. So people tend to deny it. I'm fine. So yun yung mahirap that you're not addressing it. So that's the first. Because our emotions are just mere signals that there's something something not in our description of what our normal is like, So I think it's safe to say that everyone, everywhere, is somehow feeling anxious one way or another. So, because this is a global pandemic and none of this is normal to us. So it's safe to say that everyone has experienced anxiety at this point in time, And you also have to know that, kasi ang takot ng tao kasi is, meron ba ako niyan? Kasi we do not know, di ba? Or magkakaroon ba ako niyan? And actually, it's not just the pandemic, it's about work, paano yung finances namin, my family, di ba? Our futures, it's not just this. I mean, kung nagiging anxious ang mga tao, nag-isipan yung mga tao, they already have anxiety even before this pandemic. So this has been a multiplier for them, diba? So talagang heightened to the highest level ng kanilang anxiety. It only becomes a problem when it becomes debilitating already we cannot function normally already. Parang hirap ka na bumangon, you're just overwhelmed ka na, hala, paano alam mo, it's just, we start to think we're catastrophizing already. We're thinking of the worst scenarios already. So, yun yung nagiging challenge kasi we're not thinking right anymore. So, normally, the function of our brain at a normal state, 7 to 8% lang yan. So, when you're stressing and you're very anxious, decrease pa ang usage ng brain mo. So, how can you function to mas lesser yung gamit natin sa brain? So, yun. So, to your question, do we have tools about that? Diba? How can we address it? So, fortunately, we do. I've prepared a couple of tools that we can use.
Ay, gusto ko yan.
This is not exhaustive options, but at least we have a few that we can probably try. Give it a try
Practice,
first.
okay.
So, as a CBT practitioner, I'm a cognitive behavior therapist as a life coach. Is my foundation. So we usually use the ABC concept. So A is primarily just the trigger or the situation. So for this case, it's the pandemic. The B is your belief or thought yung pinaka-importante. And C is the emotion. Kasi usually tayo, it's just the trigger and the emotion. May pandemic, panic. We forget to process the B, our belief. Diba? So, ito, A, there's pandemic. What is our belief? We believe that we're helpless, we're hopeless, we're stuck. So what's the result? We feel fearful, we feel anxious, diba? So leading to what? To depression. But if we really stop and think about it, if we take our time, okay, so there's a figure, we have a pandemic. What do I believe? Sabi naman, it can be prevented, diba? We stay at home, wear the mask, sanitize. So there's something I can do. I can prepare. So before nag-lockdown, I can purchase groceries. So your C would be you're more confident. I have prepared, so I should be fine. Diba? So that's one tool, the ABC concept. One of my favorite also is the STOP card, the STOPP card.
STOP card.
So that's just basic. Yes, that's what I usually do. STOP card. So S, really literally stop. Take a breath muna, parang, okay, diba? And then observe, what am I thinking right now? What am I anxious right now? What am I anxious about right now? And then you pull back, put in some perspective and see the bigger picture. Parang, is this the truth? Or is this just an opinion? If it is the truth, what can I do about it? And a third person's perspective, ano sa tingin niya ang pwedeng mangyari dito? Diba? It's not really a hopeless case. A lot of the WHO and even the government are giving us all the information that they can to help us, even our own companies, diba? So that, and then the last piece, practice what works, like what you said earlier. So what have you been doing daily, weekly, and monthly? You look back, what worked for me? Bakit ako umabot dito? And what do I think I can change? So parang, that really wasn't a health option. What can I do about that? So parang, stressing over this, parang, shotgun, pag hindi ko ito ilaalala, wala naman nangyayari. So what can I do about it? You do cost-benefit analysis. Parang, so given this cost, how will it help me to believe this negative, irrational thought? And how will it hurt me? And on another hand, if it's a good thought, how can this benefit me? Yung ganon. So and then, like what I said na parang, just go back to the simple basics. Try to establish a routine. Pagkagising mo sa umaga, like ikaw, alam ko, you start with a devotion. Diba? Start with a devotion, breakfast, exercise, establish everything because it helps us get grounded. At least we know what's happening for the day. Hindi yung where our thoughts are scattered every day, everywhere, and then everything for the day is also scattered. So try to establish a routine. And while we cannot really physically see each other, we still need to stay connected with family and friends. We have a lot of motivation, diba? Like now, nasa Cebu pa, ako nandito, diba? And we are, diba? So, yun. And then another thing is, I think my last probably, this, I think people just really, they forget the advantage of, or overlook the benefit of getting a lot of rest. I mean, others just preoccupy themselves with doing stuff para hindi mag-isip on what the problem really is, that they become evasive, avoidance and tendency. So they do a lot of stuff that they drain themselves. Wala nang tulog o Netflix hanggang 4 a.m. So kinabukasan, pagod ka na, wala ka ng energy.
And it takes a toll on your physical health too, di ba?
Yes, it does, di ba? And then here you go, isip mo, kasi yung task mo for the day, hindi mo nagawa, hindi ko na naman nagawa, stress ka na naman, di ba? So parang, it's a ripple effect. So, I suggest, you also establish a bedtime routine. That will really
bedtime routine. Wow.
Yes.
That's the first time, honestly, because even if I go to YouTube, it's most of the time they establish a solid morning routine kasi it sets the mood for the whole day. But
yes.
I'm glad to hear that there's this thing we call bedtime routine. Can you set like an example of a healthy bedtime routine? Sorry.
So I think parang ako, as best as I can, kasi may regular work ako and then I do life coaching in the side kasi may dalawang anak pa.
Yes.
You know, so and then the usual chores at home. So I try as best as I can. Pag 6 p.m. log off na sa work, wala na muna ibang schedule, spend time with the kids, have dinner. Pati kahit mga bata, wala na munang games, so nothing like that. Read na kami ng book na 8 p.m. Storytelling time na, how was your day? Tapos sakto 9, lights off. Parang lahat kami kalmado na. So parang we have a good night's sleep and then a fresh start in the morning. So yun.
Paano yung, there are people who are nocturnal, like they're more awake at night and then they prefer to be sleeping during the day.
That is
yun?
Okay.
Okay.
That is okay. It's not really that, it's not really the time difference. I think what matters is that you are rested.
Okay.
You know, that you have enough sleep that you need, at least 6 to 8 hours if you can. And then if you're nocturnal ka, sa umaga, be sure that you get enough 6 to 8 hours of sleep. And then the rest of your night, yung usual routine. Again, it's establishing the routine. Are you still reaching out to your family? Do they know kamusta ka na? Nanawag na baka, kamusta na sila? Diba, Ana?
These are the healthy tools we can somehow try, or our viewers can try. It doesn't mean that the ABC is more effective than the other, but at least they have something that they can try as they process their fears and anxieties these days. Now, with social media kasi parang it aggravates your fear already. Before, we use social media to be informed. But somehow, what I noticed, that's why I personally deleted my app of my Facebook, particularly my Facebook, because it was not helping me at all. And there are also people who are, well, I'm not as strong as them in terms of tolerating these horrific news. So, what can we do para hindi tayo affected with the horrific news and those people who are also quite insensitive, if that's the proper term, in forwarding messages? Kasi sometimes my struggle also is I've deleted the Facebook app, but in some group chats or some of my friends are just really forwarding messages na nakakatakot. So how do we deal with that?
Good on you for choosing to delete muna the app, at least for the time being, diba? Kasi, we are now experiencing more challenges in 24 hours compared to the last 5 years or 10 years combined. So imagine that. And now we are hearing each and everyone's pains and hurts, and there's just a lot of pain for us to process. We have to be mindful of how much we can take, whose pain and how much pain we can take on. Kasi you have to consider, ikaw din, may pinagdadaanan, di ba? What we are going through individually, it's also different. It's difficult even, di ba? So, you have your own stressful journey. So, for your sources, just keep it short and simple. You don't have to be present in all networks na parang lahat ng news pinakikinggan mo, di ba? Just choose one or two. That should be sufficient, di ba? And then even for the group chat, you don't have to be present in all conversations. Especially doon, alam mo, if we bombarded with, si ganito, nangyari ganito, si ganito, daming ganyan, di ba? So you can always opt to kindly mute or opt out muna. Di ba may option ng NGS group chat natin, you can mute muna or hide them muna for the time being.
Hide? These are the things I've learned. We can mute, we can leave the group chat, we can also ignore the group chat if you don't want to leave. Just ignore.
But you have to be mindful that it is just as important to recognize and understand your limit, your bandwidth to cater these emotions, because your mental health is just as important. Mm.
Kumbaga, wag na nating isipin what they will think for as long as you secure yourself first and your
I
mental
think
health.
that's very important. Kaya tayo nahihirapan because we always wonder what will they think about us. Let's not concern ourselves too much with what other people have to say. That is draining.
That for the last 4 months, especially here in the Philippines, evidently parang every day, cases are rising. And then, honestly, I feel like I could still hardly see that light at the end of the tunnel. It's difficult that's our situation right now. I can talk about frustrations, but I'm gonna reserve that for another topic probably. But with our current situation right now, it seems like the light is still far, far away. How do we stay optimistic, and how do we find hope these days?
I already found hope when you said that the light is at the very far end of the tunnel. It means you're seeing the light. Even if it's at a very far distance, you still see the light with us. So I find hope in that already. But then see, for me, it's really knowing what you cannot control. You need to know what you cannot control. And then shift your perspective. Where do I have control of? What do I have control of? For most of us, at least for both of us, our goal to have been to help others. Remember kayo na family mo, you volunteer to cook and deliver food for the frontliners.
Right.
And that gives us a sense of what we know. This, at least I know what to do. Diba? So it's really just a shift of perspective. While it is true that things are not really going pretty well right now, this is not the end state. We've survived a lot already. And this is not any different. We've survived as well. And I mean, people are really focused on what's happening wrong. Let us not overlook what the good that's happening as well. Diba? I mean, it's hard to ignore that people are mobilizing themselves to support this group. Or the surprise ka na, ang dami palang nagkakawang gawa. Strangers helping strangers, diba? And you discover a lot of yourself na ikaw, the inner strength in you. Would you have thought na kaya pala yun? Diba? You've been through a great heartbreak the past few weeks of this pandemic. Kaya pala to rise above it, diba? So it reminds us of the strength that we have within. Now we can also, it gives us a reflection na, Lord, we can always go back to you. Parang it was just a nudge na to go back to the Lord. As well, I'm not saying that people are forgetting the Lord, but it's a good opportunity for us to be reminded that Lord will really need you. Just like in Hebrews 12, diba? Teach us to number our days. Isn't that what we are doing now? Now we are choosing now what matters. And that I think gives me so much hope. Let us not just focus on what's the wrong that's happening. I mean, we need to be aware of those. Plan on what we can do about that. Address it as we should in the government or even us, diba, na mga mamamayan. We should really do our part. Kasi it's frustrating if you just keep on looking at ito mga to, sinabi ng lockdown, labas pa rin ng labas. What does that do, diba? We're just blaming ourselves for things that we have no control of. Pero ikaw, what have you been doing? You've been educating people. You've been reaching out. You're publishing blogs, educating people, diba? And there's more of you. And that's really hope, diba? So parang before you read, alam mo na talaga yung vlog mo, na-realize ko, no? Alam mo, so there's just the many things that we can do. And I'm not sure if you know Mr. Fred Rogers, is para siyang teacher sa US before. Sabi niya na, when things seem scary already, nasabihin na siya ng mami niya, look for the helpers. Laging may helpers na present. And that gives us hope. That is what we are, diba? There is strength when we help people. So, yun.
I love that.
Congratulations for that because you've been helping people.
I love that. Thank you. You know that my initial intention of producing also these vlogs that are relevant to our pandemic is also it's my way of releasing my anxiety. Like you've been,
True.
you told me to do something that will make me happy. You told me to shift my focus and stop catastrophizing, because I
Yes.
think
Good
that's
student.
that's my I think my number one cognitive distortion is that I catastrophize. Konting sakit lang ng ulo, or just konting sakit lang ng ulo, or minsan gilok ba sa tutunlan, you know? It's not even a sore throat, it's just an itchy throat, if there's a proper, if that is the proper term. And then, you know, you catastrophize and think, oh, baka this is the start of something, whatever, or something scary and something we don't want to happen. So I'm so glad that through this platform, I also get to share the kind of help I got from you. And speaking of which, Coach Kai, I'm sure I'm not alone in what I'm going through. Probably there's our neighbor here or in the other barangay. I'm sure these days a lot of people are going through the same thing, and they don't know where to go, whom to talk to. And you might want to like invite them should they be needing your help, your assistance. Do you have like a Facebook page that they can go to so that they can talk to you?
Yeah, actually, for my personal page, I've actually posted it that I'm doing coaching for free for now during the pandemic. Kasi, you know, sobrang magnified talaga. Surprisingly, ang dami talaga as soon as I posted it, talaga sinasunod yung message na kinaka-free, so you can really see the need. But I would like to promote and send learn page. That's where I got my certification from. There are several coaches there who can likely help you. You know, and you can go to my page, just message me if you need help. I'll try to find time for you.
Yeah, I will put it here. It's here. It's posted here already. Yes.
Don't be ashamed. You know, it's more difficult to deny it. The sooner that you acknowledge it and ask for help, the better. And you'll be surprised that people are willing to help. And I'd be glad to help.
Oh, thank you very much, Coach Kai. I'm sure.
Thank you also.
You know what? Not just me, not just my sister, but to those who are viewing us at the moment, right now, many of them feel refreshed already, probably revived of the new hope that they got from you, the tools we got from you. And I will always pray for you and for the people who are in need of your service na, you know, kakayanin natin. Now, we are not alone in what we're going through. And as you've said, there will always be help. There will always be help. And thank you that God has used you to be one of those helpers sa mga panahon ngayon. Thank you very much, Coach Kai.
I'm so proud of you. Thank you, team. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I'll see you next time. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys had a lot of takeaways from today's conversation. And guys, please know that you are not alone. You don't have to feel ashamed about it. It's okay. It is really okay. Don't be afraid to ask for help if and when you think you need it. Most importantly, I want you to remember that we can win this battle. Please don't forget to like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you on the next Conversations with Christine.